Taylor Swift was already reshaping music, culture, and entire industries long before Travis Kelce ever entered the picture. And Travis was already a three-time champion and one of the most respected names in football before Taylor ever showed up in his stands. Individually, either one of them would already qualify as one of the most powerful people in their respective world. Together, married now, standing on the same stage, they have become something the entertainment world has genuinely never seen before. A couple whose combined gravity bends sports, music, and business all at once, simply by existing. These are the moments that prove Taylor and Travis are the most powerful couple in the world. Start with the wedding itself, because it is the cleanest example of everything this couple represents. When they married at Madison Square Garden, there were no official photos released, no press statement beyond a brief confirmation, and no managed rollout of content designed to control the narrative. Guests signed agreements, phones were locked away at the door, and the couple's own team said almost nothing. And yet for 72 straight hours, the wedding dominated global news coverage, generated more social media conversation than almost any celebrity event in recent memory, and led broadcasts on every major network. All without either of them lifting a finger to promote it.
You know, Adam Sandler did the ceremony there, so he mentioned, kiss her every chance you have.
Anybody that's saying anything negative about that place, now granted, shutting down parts of the city and that whole thing, you guys can have your thoughts on that.
Most public figures spend millions of dollars and entire teams of publicists engineering that level of attention. Taylor and Travis achieved it by saying nothing at all. And somehow that silence spoke louder than any press tour ever could, proving that when you have built enough genuine cultural weight, you no longer need to ask for the world's attention. It simply arrives on its own. Now rewind to where this all started, because the numbers from the very beginning of their relationship still do not fully make sense. The moment Taylor sat down at her very first Chiefs game to watch Travis play, his jersey sales spiked 400% almost overnight. No campaign, no sponsorship rollout, no announcement. She simply showed up and an entire product line sold out. It remains one of the fastest, most measurable examples of pure celebrity influence ever recorded in professional sports. That same influence eventually helped push the Super Bowl itself into record territory. Super Bowl 58 drew more than 123 million average viewers, the largest audience for any broadcast in American television history. And a significant chunk of that surge came from young women tuning in specifically because of Taylor's presence. With female viewership in the 18 to 24 age range jumping roughly 24% that season alone, Travis won the game that night. Taylor helped break the record around it. Travis, meanwhile, has undergone one of the fastest career transformations in modern sports. Before Taylor, he was a well-respected, well-known tight end within football circles, a three-time champion whose name mattered most inside stadiums and locker rooms. Within about a year of the relationship going public, he had signed a podcast deal worth roughly $100 million with Amazon, watched that same podcast climb to the top of the charts and stay there, picked up film and TV hosting opportunities that never would have crossed his desk otherwise, and built an entire second career running parallel to his football one, all while still playing at an elite level on Sundays. Very few athletes manage to build a second empire at the exact peak of their first, and even fewer do it this fast. Just before their wedding, the couple quietly moved $26 million in charitable donations across roughly 20 organizations nationwide, covering food banks, children's hospitals, and education programs, along with a $2 million gift to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library and a seven-figure donation to a major hunger relief organization in New York. Most couples announce a registry before their wedding, asking guests for gifts. These two quietly redirected tens of millions of dollars to people who needed it far more than they did, without a press release, without a photo op, and without anyone finding out until well after the fact, treating an act of enormous generosity as something almost too ordinary to mention.
I don't want to give away too much, but it was the greatest night of all time. My wife and I had a blast, and they absolutely showcased that they are in love.
Individually, their financial numbers are already staggering. Taylor's net worth has been estimated at well over $1.5 billion, making her the first billionaire in history to build that fortune primarily through music and touring, rather than side ventures, endorsement empires, or inherited wealth. Travis, through his NFL contract endorsements and his growing media empire, is estimated to be worth somewhere in the ballpark of $90 million and climbing steadily year over year. Combined, their fortune sits well into the billions, and by any reasonable estimate, the overwhelming majority of that total traces back to Taylor's own music catalog and touring income, a reminder that her career alone could have carried this couple's financial weight even without a single football contract involved. And that touring income reshaped entire local economies in ways economists are still studying years later. When Taylor brought the Eras Tour through Denver for just 2 nights, the shows added an estimated $140 million to Colorado's economy alone, driven by fans spending heavily on hotels, restaurants, and retail in a single weekend. Zoom out across the entire American leg of the tour, and the total estimated boost to state economies nationwide crossed $5 billion. According to the U.S. Travel Association, regional Federal Reserve reports even cited her tour stops directly when explaining unusually strong local hotel revenue during otherwise ordinary months. Economists eventually coined an entire term, Swiftonomics, just to describe the pattern of one artist single-handedly moving local and even regional economic indicators. The tour itself closed out as the single greatest touring run in music history. Across 149 shows and roughly 21 months, Taylor's Eras Tour grossed just over $2 billion, drawing more than 10 million total attendees, making her the first solo artist ever to sell over 10 million tickets on one tour. That final number is not close to the previous all-time record. It very nearly doubled it. All of that combined economic and cultural weight eventually caught the attention of an institution that rarely pays attention to musicians at all. Forbes ranked Taylor as the 5th most powerful woman on the entire planet, placing her above nearly every entertainer alive and behind only a handful of heads of state and central bank leaders. She was also named Time's Person of the Year that same stretch, becoming the only musician to crack the very top of Forbes' global power rankings that year. Ahead of her sat a European Commission president, a central bank chief, a sitting vice president, and a prime minister. Behind her sat almost everyone else on Earth with a passport and a bank account. A genuinely staggering placement for someone whose entire empire is built on songwriting and stagecraft rather than policy or corporate boardrooms. Even individual products feel her influence within hours of her wearing them. When she stepped out in a specific pair of sneakers during an early Chiefs appearance, that shoe saw a 25% jump in sales and a similar spike in website traffic within a single week. Around that same period, a passing mention of the condiment she was eating in a stadium suite led an entire food brand to rename its product online just to capitalize on the moment, sending search interest in that company soaring by more than 60%. Very few celebrities on the planet can casually eat a snack and reshape a company's marketing strategy by the following morning, and fewer still can do it entirely by accident. Put all of it together, and you get something that has never really existed before in quite this combination. In the same general stretch of time, Travis was winning championships at the highest level of professional football, while Taylor was breaking touring records that had stood for decades, and together they were the most searched, most discussed couple across every major platform on Earth. Most power couples dominate one industry. These two were simultaneously reshaping sports, music, philanthropy, and pop culture all at once, without ever appearing to try particularly hard at any of it. So here's the full picture once you actually lay out the numbers. A wedding that dominated global headlines without a single official photo. A jersey line that sold out overnight from one stadium appearance. A Super Bowl audience the size of a small country. A podcast empire worth 9 figures built in under a year. $26 million quietly given away before a wedding most couples would have spent that same amount throwing. A touring record that more than doubled the previous best in history. A spot on a global power list above senators and prime ministers. And an economic ripple effect, large enough that actual economists needed to invent a new word just to describe it. No other couple currently walking the planet touches that many industries, that many institutions, and that many strangers' daily lives all at the same time. Central bankers study them. Sneaker companies track them. Brands rearrange entire marketing strategies around a single photograph or a single offhand comment about a snack. And through all of it, from a silent wedding to a record-shattering world tour to a jersey selling out before anyone even announced a relationship, Taylor and Travis have proven the same thing over and over again, in industry after industry, year after year. Real power does not need to announce itself. It just needs to show up and let the numbers speak for themselves. Two people, once powerful entirely on their own, now standing together as something the world has genuinely never had to measure before.
We've all been married, hell, damn, 20-something years. Yeah. I'm sneaking up on 20. I'm behind y'all boys. But, man, enjoy love. And that's what it's supposed to be. It's not easy. And I don't give a damn how much billions that she got. I hope he puts a baby in her soon.
My biggest thing with him is just his juice. When he makes a play, you're going to know he made a play. Like, he's going to let everybody know about it, for sure.
It's like he's out there playing basketball with little kids sometimes.
His wiggle, like, at the top of his routes, he always does this, like, show, like, he has a little wiggle about him that he knows how to create separation.
He's doing crossovers, you know, wiggling with his body to get your eyes off.
Football world coming together with Hollywood in Nashville.
That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.